Okay. Hello. Labvakar. Is it correct? Labdien for me is better because in the childhood I spent all my childhood summers in Papė, Papė. So it was like every day, like we were waiting, for this like milk, chocolate, things like how is it? Yeah, karums, and of course, my mother teached us that you have to say labdien, karkum, and paldies. So it's like from the 6, years old, Latvian was very, very interesting for me. So thank you for coming. Sorry for delaying my last lecture. It was 2 weeks ago. I had sinusitis, so I still have a little bit, so a little excuse, but thank you for coming. I heard that you also have this qualification point, so it's, I think, maybe, a compensation for that. Okay, so I will talk, and I was asked by Gilma and Latvijas Arhitektu Association, I think, to have a lecture here in this quarter and about transformations. So you have this industrial heritage days, and it's very interesting environment. And I will talk not about just industrial transformation, I will talk about continuous transformation, because I'm working like architect 20 years or so, like 90 or 20 years, and now I think like every day we are just continuing and transform. And we're transforming like everything. So this is what I will speak about, and I hope that you will have some questions that we can discuss later, so it would be more interesting. So as I was introduced, I am co-founder of Do Architects. So we founded Do Architects 4 partners. I don't know if you know them. So we are 4 partners, and also rebuilt a wonderful founder. So I was just telling colleagues of yours about this initiative. So if we have time, I will also show something what we are doing with Ukraine. But before that, for me, it's always interesting to see, like really zoom out. And we have a lot of projects. I was asked by your colleagues, are you the biggest office in Lithuania? And probably we are, because now we have like 78 architects in Vilnius, and somehow it happened. But I think it happened because of that we are doing such a wide spectrum of all the typologies that we're just too curious. But now I can, just conclude a little bit that I always, when we start with some project, I always just now put it in like 3 main, shelves. So one's like it is historical shelf. So this is one without the boundaries, so historical shelf. So projects where the value is historical, and there is like one type of questions, like valuable questions, what we ask ourselves. Then the other shelf is the projects or buildings or like context from the history named occupation. So we've been there together, and these are totally different questions, what we re-ask ourselves. And then it's like our independency period. So this is 3rd shelf, where it's completely also different questions. And I will just show our projects and share with you these questions what we use as a thinking, a philosophy while putting this designing of the projects. So, this is one slide is missing. Okay, so here it should have been like this little storage in historical street. You have to imagine now. But I will tell you quite, visually. But you are architects, right? So you will. How many architects are there? Can you just raise your hand? Okay, so it's like majority of architects. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is like a little storage building in historical street where we started our office. So it was like 4 of us in the beginning. It was like 6 of us like 2 years ago, and it was like, and we also started to transform it while we were working. When like after that we moved to another office, so it is our project also. So it was also like a specific goods storage. So it's what deficit storage, like for rare goods in Soviet times. And developers wanted to demolish it, of course, but we said that let's try it because it's very, very good grid of columns. So let's try to convert it to the office and to the residential building. So, and this was like, this is the building near the train station nearby, and it was pretty unsafe. So with moving every time our office from one place to another, we always see what difference to the environment we create. So for example, here it was a lot of junkies because of the station nearby. So we were always keeping the lights on. And somehow they really disappeared super quickly because it was too cozy, too much light, and just too much maybe different people, and they just context really changed very fast. But it's really bad because you will have to imagine a lot of my presentation. Yeah.
Imaginary.
Yeah, so this is, you can compare it, how you imagined and how it is. so más o menos how the Spanish guys tells us. Okay, and so here we were like 5 years ago, and we've been here like around 4 years. And we completed it, and it was, perfect for us, and it was also perfect, but too boring for us, and we were always also growing in the same time. So we started to search for another place, and we found actually pretty similar place as the Provodņiks area here, and that one we rented out, and this one we bought it. We bought it also with some other partners. We bought this piece of factory. Previously, it looked like this, much better, but then it was like, the factory for the jars covering, jars and the covering, so it was, it's a bigger jar covering factory it was in Europe. But they somehow didn't need some windows, so they just, take it away. So we installed it again as it was, and so we also started not only put it our office here, which is pretty big here, but also some other tenants. So we actually now creating somehow kind of a community with the coffee shops and some other offices and stuff like this. So this is our main hall, how we work, and this is also we thought that it will be like nice entrance, like cathedral or something like this, where we do our like planning sessions, auditorium or something like this. But when we were opening this, we made this little party with a few thousand people. So people event organizers really liked it, and somehow it we started to rent this place during our office hours to very different I don't know, weddings, for example, or some kind of university lectures, or some kind of, I don't know, super cool lawyers, some kind of, presentations and stuff like this. And through these windows, we are working, and we are just seeing what's going on. So this is also very similar as this place, like around maybe 15 minutes from the city center, maybe 25 by bike or something like this, but in very industrial area. So, and this became like a, public square, like with a roof. And you can see, like, it's about transformation. So it's like we actually transform it every day, because on Wednesday we can have this, on Thursday we can have this. And during the night time, they put it away, everything, and just change everything. So this is how we live and how we design, and you can see that when I say that we really transform everything like every day, and moving and changing and stuff like this. So it's really, really happening. And I'm just also thinking that it is super important for us, because I feel on myself and on my colleagues and on our colleagues and employees that we are changing. With each transformation, we are changing not only environment, but ourselves. Because you put yourself to some kind of uncomfort zone, and then you have to be creative, to be happy with that. And this is not so easy, but this is very, very interesting. So, and I also believe that you have to walk the talk, you have to do it what you are speaking. So when we say to the clients that you have to do it, you have to go by bike, or you have to convert, not to demolish and stuff like this, you have to, I believe it, you have to do it yourself too. So now I'm going back to this a little bit theoretical shelves, but I really like them, because then it has some kind of very nice historical message in that. So as I said, that this is the first shelf, so this is historical context and historical layers. And now I will speak about concrete, our projects, what we were developing in these 10 years of Jew Architect's office. So historical context, and the main question is always like how to combine essential historical values in modern language. And maybe some of you have been here. It's like a really old town, and it's like a former Jewish quarter in Vilnius. And we got this piece of very, very nice palace. And it was totally conserved, because nobody knew about them, because it was like administration of water supply or stuff like this, and it was like only one gate, and that's it. Like nobody knew it about it. It's just random historical perimeter, And when we start working with it, and for example, the streets were like, just random little windows and stuff like this. And we just didn't even question that these windows are not authentic. And this was like 100 years ago was a different life here. And then I understood what Soviet propaganda, spatial propaganda did to us, because this is actually authentic windows, very big, very live, and the street, of course, is very live because of these windows and shops and stuff like this. But we got so much, also media attention and stuff like this, because we did these windows big, because our memory, sorry, I said that I won't do with this with my hands, but I am doing this, yes. Okay, good. So this is, for us, it was super interesting how our memory was changed. So all this, we thought that this is like historical and authentic. It's not. This is true. And the truth is much, much more beautiful and much more wonderful and brings much more life to the street than, this fake historical facades are doing. So for us, it was a super big discovery, and not only for us, but also while explaining our ideas and while also making, things to build itself. So we were answering this question that this is not authentic. Authentic is really much more different than we're used to think. So what we did here, we did this big opening, which was also there, and this is actually Soviet-built building which was blocking the passage, and we recreated this passage from one side and to another side. And what we did, we actually create this public space instead of parking, and about this space, nobody knew. This is Vilnius city center, and nobody knew about such a palace and such a courtyard and such a place. So, and this is a picture from this first meeting with the client. We always do client meetings. We try to do these client meetings in the place because of, you just can feel the space better. And then because the task for us was just to repaint it, and to let it for rent. Very good, it's good place, it's super center, so it's repainting and that's it. And then here actually we I don't know, 5 hours or so were speaking that you have to open all the ground floor, you have to demolish the wall, and you have to make a passage, and you have to create the flow, and you will have a lot of people here. And the Danish client, he was, what are you speaking about? I just want to repaint it and just to put it on rent. But then he listened, and we did it in actually 2 years. And he was so actually inspired by it that it could be public space, not only just office building, but public space because of this rewritten history, what we thought it was. And of course, we installed these nice modern details just also to separate what is the modern detail and input and what is authentic input. And this is, I think, what I was going to say, this about this fake, I don't know, Soviet and all these time facades that were so believable that we all believe that it is true. So after this is the staircase, and of course everywhere it's you have to be in your time, and to put all these layers and to reveal all these layers. This is, I think, the main question to that answer I asked before. And this is very authentic and very also contemporary in that case. And we were building this in I don't know, 1.5 years. It was super rush. We just covered it all, and it was a lot of things going on because people were trying bakery stuff and painting in the same time because of no times. Of course, there were a lot of foundings and stuff. And about transformation. So now I'm talking not about these buildings and palace transformation, but also about the mind transformation. You understand it, right? Because the client was so inspired by this that he transformed during the process itself. He had a farm and he had few restaurants and he was just growing vegetables. But he was so inspired by this, transformation to public and transformation to all these layers that in this farm he was just growing some vegetables for this restaurant. And it was few buildings like that. And it was he was just didn't paying any attention to it. And we did this because he was, okay, you are doing, come here, come, let's go. And we came and we also did transformation because he did this mind transformation. And of course, you can see that all these windows we made it special, that they are all different. Also to, reflect that it's imperfect. It's just, it is. And this is also public space, and there are a lot of gatherings now, and conference, and learning stuff, and hotel, and stuff like this. It is like a public space surrounded by fields and the farms. So this project really reveals how during the process we can also, see what it is true. And I think for architects it's very important just because not like research, because it was a lot of researchers who were doing like researches and giving us all these recordings, what was founded there, but we can just zoom out and make, this insight, what it is important, and to reflect it. So, and during this, these are all like pavilions and the fireplaces and stuff like this. I won't go to the detail much because I want just to get the essence, but maybe we can discuss it later if you have some questions later. During this, I was also transforming my home, and during that time I bought a little piece of like house in this very, very nice neighborhood in Vilnius. And it's like an old building like this, and this is the house. And I was transforming, and I will all the time, tell you like all the things from life, because life is like everything in one place. So while transforming, I was getting wedding, and we thought, why we have to rent something? Why we cannot just be at home? But at home we have construction site. But why we cannot do our wedding in construction site? So this is also about this. So this is our wedding the night before. But this is, you keep transforming and make celebration of this transformation. So this is what you are also doing with all this quarter and with all this space, right? That you are using while having the dream what it will become. So this became very nice courtyard, but we had this courtyard in mind when we had this wedding, dinner, breakfast, but it was just construction site. So, and I like, to think that these are chairs, but these chairs also give me a very nice reflection about, how architects could unite histories. So this is like 1890, this is 2000, and this is like IKEA, the Soviet thing is missing here. But combination of these, I think we have this really luxury time that we can combine and, not to demolish stuff and build new one, but from this combination, we can make very, very interesting stuff. Other thing is also our future country house here in these fields. It is like it is. It's a very beautiful one, but it still needs a lot to be done. But we're enjoying this while, this is me. So this is about, transforming historical things and enjoying them. And now I'm coming to this second shelf. So second shelf is this transforming Soviet inheritance. And here I will speak maybe a little bit deeper and wider, because for me this is somehow very important issue. And this also connects with this initiative, Rebuild the Wonderful. Here is we also when we start with something built in this time, so in 70 years of occupation, we always ask people who are using, if they are using that building, do you feel the Soviet ideology here through the space? And they always say no, because they never thought about it. This is nice example, and this is maybe not that bad example, but this was on your cover. And this is the This is the Baywatch area, Baywatch building. And this was also, maybe I will tell you how we started to build it, because this is like a seaside. And we were always going there by seaside, and we always were thinking, because this is like the main route to the sea. And people were also like going like this, and then turning here and going there. Never going like, normally, just directly how it leads. And I was always thinking why they are not using this super nice building, because it was just blocked. And this is nicely blocked, but this is somehow blocked. So, and we suggested to the municipality of this region, just maybe we can help with that. And they said, yes, please, and we helped them. So what we actually did, so we just take out these stairs, and these stairs were blocking everybody's, entering and this scenario, how you actually see the sea, because this is super important point when you actually going, and suddenly you can just see the sea. And this is the spot, so we can see like 20 kilometers to one side, 20 kilometers to the other side. And this is super nice, like a bunker or something like this, but not as a place, to be nice on the seaside. So here in Lithuania it is written like we make good deeds. Make good works, something like this. So it was also leading us to make it really public. And this was, Skronjan pit. Maybe you've been there. So it's Skronjan pit. So this is built maybe 8 years ago or so, but it is until now, I think, maybe one or maybe two, maybe second place was done quite newly here, where you can actually be on the dune and see the sea, like really nicely, not on the sand. So this was actually one of the first little transformations from our side, but really wanted to make it very human. And it's so nice when your buildings start, to be not yours. It's like people building. So, and it's like happening a lot of stuff there, and because it's also very, photogenic and very practical. But this woman made for me like the biggest change, that she is actually local, and she lives in this little city near the sea 8 years. And she was never coming to the sea. She was like never coming to the sea. And now she's coming like every evening, just see you. It's like normal reading hour. And it's like when you understand such things that, so, I don't know, it's like, no words. It's like you help somebody to make some kind of discovery. So this was very nice example, and very nice also kind of process. Now it will be, I will tell you a story about a kindergarten we did. Maybe Mikael know already. I think we spoke on the same conference. But it is like this small city behind Vilnius. And I think you couldn't guess it's Vilnius or Riga or I don't know, Romania, Poland, where is it? Everywhere is the same. And so we did this kindergarten extension, but we also here changed completely the routine. And while there in the Baywatch pavilion, we changed routine for this lady who is coming to the seaside to see the sea, and during 80 years she didn't do. But here we changed the routine not only for kids, but for the parents, for the teachers, but for whole the city. And for me it's super interesting how It's like how they are actually transforming and how their routines are transforming because we change the space. And you all know that this is very, very typical. This is H-type, of kindergarten. Who've been there in these kindergartens? A lot. It's like half of the auditorium. It's like, okay, so you know it. Okay. So you perfectly know that there is like two like annexes and one like middle corridor with like 1 meter 20 or so, where as a kid you are going and don't see like nothing surrounding because you're just not so big enough. So, and this is the corridor. And actually what Soviet educational buildings does, so it has no community spaces. The corridors are like the only community spaces, and that's it. And kindergarten is like, I think, one of the most important buildings because you as a person, this is like the first building where actually you starting to meet unknown people, unknown human beings, totally alone. So you are on your own, and you completely start, to invent yourself how to communicate with other like people. And if you are put it in such a Soviet kindergarten, you actually are like this, because you are put it in only in one group, and that's it. You are being so controlled by space that you actually very, very limited your possibilities. And so what we did first, of course, we did so we made this to this. Maybe not, I'm starting not from here. So here is like these annexes, and you know that you are going directly to the group. So it's like one entrance is here, one entrance is here, one entrance is here, and that's it. And there is no one community space or one gathering space where you can enter and see whole picture. Who are these people in this kindergarten? So what is this planet? Who lives in this planet? No. In Soviet typical kindergarten, you only see this planet because you are totally unknown. This is unknown for you. This is totally unknown for you. And when we actually started doing this, we completely abandoned and just said, you cannot use these entrances. You have to use one entrance through here, through this courtyard. And what happened, that it is only one main entrance, this is this one, which leads to this main courtyard. And around this courtyard, there's like all the community, like common spaces. And from here, actually, started, like miracles started. Because until this reconstruction, so like normal people that just go to this directly to their group, like with kids, and kids are of course crying and stuff like this because it's like not comfortable to be in this little cloakroom. And here it's like no problem at all. They are coming, they see like people, like humans and like little children playing here around, and they just go to play with them. And this courtyard, it's not only the structure, which, architecturally seems nice. No, but it is like, it's grouping all the people and showing you the planet where you are. And from here, started really big changes in the community because parents also started to speak with other parents, like teachers started to speak with other teachers and stuff like this. And it's not only like nice facades and nice textures and nice lighting and stuff like this, but actually changed habits. And we also parallelly did this memory research. And it's very interesting. It would be very interesting to do it with you, because there is a lot of material, your material. So, but we made it like in different also countries. And it's not from kids, it's like from like adults. and like one is like, here's from Vilnius. So, and they draw, as I told you, how do you remember their kindergarten? And they remember only this part. They even don't know what was going on there. And one guy told me like one day it was raining, and his father was like, just leading him to this group. And it was so raining that he just mixed up the entrances, and he went to another entrance, just close by. And for him, it was like mega, some kind of wow, that it is another corridor, and it's like totally different wall, like, I don't know, coloring. And he's like 50 years old or so, and he remembers as one of the most dramatic memories in his life. But it's like, and this is the power of space. Can you imagine it? But what it means, like for us, for architects, as we understand, what does it mean? It means that there were no, like, like this common space where you can, like this plaza or this square, where you can see everybody and then pick to whom you want to talk. And pick to whom do you want to be shy, or something like this. Because you are learning, and you then keeping yourself, just growing and learning how to communicate with the people you actually like and you want to. This is another one. Also, but this was about this also entrance, that it was very, very scary to go past it. And we have a lot of such drawings, but it is very, very good proof how it is actually like keeping in memories these kind of things, and space actually does that. I think you know what it is. So, I mean, like, for example, these curtains are everywhere. It's like, I see it from your face, you always smile. So it's like, and it's like everywhere in all this region, there are these curtains, because this is a habit, This is a habit that you have to put curtains because it would be safe or something like this. And when we were like saying that, and this is that corridor space, and we were saying like you have to open up, it was like huge debates with all the teachers that how, but everybody would see it, and stuff like this. But from where to hide? You have huge kindergarten like territory around, So it's like, but when you explain that there is safe environment, and I think like these Soviet kindergartens are like put it in very big territories around, and they are too big. And when you put this close courtyard, where you just concentrate everybody and really like surround with common spaces, you're feeling safe. And then all the kids could go around and forth and, inside and outside. For example, for them, before they actually moved here, it was impossible to all the teachers to imagine that they could actually live such a routine, that kids could choose. No, it is group and it's time when you go out, it's time. No, but they didn't have conditions to do it. And it is for us, for architects, we need a lot of patience, because people cannot imagine, because they are put it like this and they are living with this. They cannot move walls as we do in our imagination. They can't. So, and I think this is our duty, and this is the main thing what we should do. So actually to explain it for them. This should also bring you some memories, because it's the cook lady, and she was like cooking 20 years for this kindergarten in the basement. And we thought that we will make this, nice like a living room with a nice kitchen, and put this cooking ladies near window, like kids could see them. And I really thought that it would be like a fact for kids that they could see who is cooking for them. And but no, because like the effect was not for kids, the main effect. The effect was for cooking ladies, because these cooking ladies, you won't believe it, but this really became like a cooking stars. This, like really, because first of all, like I come there quite often, and this is what they do. They never did it. They never did it. They, for example, if I call like to director and say like I'm coming because I have some kind of excursion or client or something like this, they bring you some kind of non-alcoholic mojitos. And they said yesterday we had non-alcoholic pina colada. And kids actually, for kids, they also said that okay, tomorrow there is like a fireman coming, to check the controls. Because it's wooden building, so and they are coming to check if it's like covered or something like this, coated. And kids, okay, so we will have guests, right? We will have guests, and they have like little tables with the little pina coladas. Non-alcoholic. And you can imagine that it is like home. They are creative, they are very homey, they are very welcoming, and they always been, but they never had conditions to be together. Because this is 500 of people here, and they all, behaving like this, behaving like a family, huge family, because they have conditions to do so. And I would really love to see like these children under, I don't know, after 10 or 20 years and to make this memory research with them. Because what I'm hearing that also the city, the little city, and it's also all Soviet built, it's a new city, it's also started to changing because they are like celebrating their birthdays on Saturdays and Sundays and stuff like this. So this is very, very informal and very, very, very like family-based, but not family. They are like, they don't know each other, community. So this is a story how, like if we are going back to that question, what values do the building creates? And what values the building, exchanges? What values the building promotes? So here is free will. Here is like the honor of human being, the freedom, right? And then when we look to all these pictures, so of course this is nothing about freedom and nothing about the free will, and we're still renovating it, just repainting it without any transformation. And this is the first state kindergarten in Lithuania, which was transformed but not renovated. And for me, it's like, and I cannot understand. And we are going and showing the ministries and teachers what you are doing, why you are only repainting, or, for example, changing the curtains. So I really share with you these questions because I don't understand why it's happening. And during like 32 years of independence, we have only one such example. Another transformation is also bringing a lot of questions. It's about street transformation. So this is like an industrial area. And this is, I think, also, it could be in Vilnius, Riga, Tallinn, whatever, Romania. Soviet industrial street. White lanes, here are trees, so they are good. So, but nothing interesting, it's boring streets. It would be so boring to you to go, no. And we did, and here was like a building, a construction site. And we were like, designing an interior here. But near this interior in this building, it was here, instead of this pedestrian route, it was like a parking spaces. And we said that maybe we can just take out these parking spaces and make this pilot street project, like little, distance, and change to like community space. And somehow we convinced the clients, somehow we convinced the city to build this pilot street with parklets and with bushes everywhere and like benches and lightings and stuff like this. Markets, and this is street market. This is actually the first street market in Vilnius. But we also brought it because it doesn't happen like this. You have to, come here, make a market here, and just do it. And after this, it was a huge success in all the neighborhood. This is minus 27. It's really minus 27, and I just wanted to check it if it's working, and it was working. And how to see working? Because people just need somehow to communicate. I don't know, just for them, local market was something very, very uniting. So after this, we made this street manual for all Vilnius streets, but we did it a little bit different than normal manuals are being done, because normal manuals are like 2,000 pages. And our also have this 700 pages, but it also have one page with essence. What has to be done? So in that time, it was like 3 years or 4 years ago, so it was like trees were cut really, really often, and it was a big problem. So for it was important to put the first rule that the tree comes first. And from here, everybody, from architects to politicians, start learning that you can make a curve, and not cut tree, that the pedestrian could also go not straight, but they could also go like this. It was like brand new information for them. But it is really because we are talking about habits, and showing them how it could be done is actually the first thing we have to do, but in reality, not in pictures. Second, it was putting a lot of bushes, because our streets are yours also. It's just too wide, and we have to create the perimeter and just narrow some parts of the streets. I won't comment everything, but these are other streets being redone in Vilnius. And when you will see it, and I hope you will, I think you will like it. These are very small, but they will grow. I'm talking like 50 minutes. I think maybe it's a bit too much. No? No? Okay, but you can fasten me also if... Okay, so another, this is office building. We are still in this Soviet building shelf. So this is office building. I won't be here too long. This is like a train office, main headquarters. And it was like this corridor, but this is like the first national, some kind of state office. So this is like public office. And all the public offices, of course, are like corridors and cabinets. It's like everywhere like this. And it's like first public office without cabinets and without corridors. We just transform it. And of course, as you can guess, the culture of the company completely transformed, like really, really completely transformed. And I'm not talking about the colors we did and the materials we used. I can also talk about this, but I think it's more important now to talk about how transformation of space transform human beings. So of course we put pictures, very funny pictures from their archives in these interiors and stuff like that. But this is not the most important. Most important is that they actually expanded, like human beings. They expanded like a culture, like personality, like individually. They expanded because they are using whole building as this kindergarten. They are using whole building, not only one piece. And when you see, like after 5 years, this another piece, you are, oh, what is there? So it's something like that, and super, super important. Yanis, this is for you. This is with dedication, because Yanis been in Agmės city and really greatly, how to say it, experienced it, I think. So this is not collage. This is our project we are working on 12 maybe years, but before this I was working in this first studio Palekas, so we were working on this territory also. So it's like more than 20 years we are working on this territory. So it's like 12 hectares of territory, and it's like it was former military base, but like during the Soviet times, it was like, you know, rented out for these cheap shops and stuff like this. And you can come with a car and buy, you know, you can come with a car, you come like this is building here, you will like buy some cheap used washing machine like this, and then you go out. Something like this. And this was very, very popular. And like developers, so the owner of the plot, were like always thinking how to attract like a little bit different people. Not only this, but maybe just who want to stay and to be there, but it's not so nice maybe to stay here. So, and we were like, you know, like for 10 years, drawing a lot of visions, how it could be, and a lot of huge, like, huge buildings and stuff like this, how to sync the cars, actually. And, but we did the first step, and it was super, super simple. We made this only 400 square meters pavilion, with a, you know, pavement, not asphalt, but pavement, and with like a little square on it, and with some kind of 5 restaurants and a cafe. And suddenly it was like overcrowded because of, and it inspired that space, it inspired all the territory to grow to the public space, because suddenly it was visible, but not visible like 20 years, that there were no public spaces in whole that part of Vilnius. This was the only public space in Vilnius. And of course, like mothers with kids and like ladies and families were going there and just hanging out. And this is really a great success, how from this actually trash buildings and trash territory, we just step by step, but like little step and little step by step, we just transformed practically all this territory. So this first building I just showed was this one. And the public space, which was saying this huge success, which inspired everything, it was this one. So I can imagine, you know, for example, as me as an architectural student, and you know, you get this territory and say that what is like the first thing you can do, you wouldn't draw, you know, like this dot, pixel, and say that this is super success. But people like compactness, actually. Compact spaces, this is the same principle as it was in the kindergarten, as it was in like this Braille station. You know, like one space, you can see all the planet. And that's it. You are like familiar with it, and that's enough. That's enough. You don't need, you know, you don't need more. And we of course introduced here like a street grid and street structure. So there were no hierarchy in the territory. It was like totally asphalt. And people need like very strict hierarchical spatial system. Where is what? Where is what? So these streets with also bushes and parking spaces on site and stuff like this also start, you know, like teaching city life, how to live city life. So I think this is still growing, and we're still designing there. Here's like the owner of the territory. It's like a husband and wife. So the wife made this sculpture of these 5 showers because they are like two, like them, both of them, and the 3 kids. But this is super popular in Vilnius. So it's like one of the most loved spots. And this is, I told you a little bit before, this is this factory of our office. So here is my partner, so Sabina and Andrea, and some kids. And we are planning what we will do here. And of course, how I showed you as I sleeping in this, derelict buildings I buy, and I know putting weddings. So also we had office dinner here, just before everything. And we were dreaming and visualizing what could happen there. And after less than a year, actually, we moved out, and this was like a welcoming party. So from this is the first day we came and we said, okay, let's do it. Till here, it was like, 1 year or so. Before that, it was like a concrete factory, but later on, it was this jar factory, and this is our office, where stuff is going on. And this is just the beginning. This is also the same, as in this Ogmia quarter I showed. This is this pixel, because actually when you do such an impact, when you spread the message, how you can use this territory. For example, we moved here really like Columbus, because around the territory is like factory workers, truck drivers, something, like a car, mechanicals or something like that. And they were like, smoking, and looking to us, and we are going by bikes, and they are like this. But then, step by step, day to day, somehow we mixed. And people also, because this is like some kind of this really, really different world you don't see. And then, for example, here we rented out to this super expensive furniture shop. And here comes, for example, Bentley, and he goes to buy a sofa for 100,000 euros. And here's like a truck driver, eating sandwich. And the mix of combination of this mixture is super creative and super, super, super interesting. So, and we also, how to say, it's like a little virus, but good virus affected. And the Mo Museum, maybe somebody of we designed with Libeskin in Vilnius. So there's another museum, collection is coming here to the another side. So, it's like a little by little, we are doing, some kind of growth. So now we are coming to this third shelf, and here is so first was historical buildings, second was this Soviet context and spaces, and third is do-modern mindset. And also, what is the question here? Because we are independent. It's like a free world. We do what we want. But I think we don't know what we actually want, and generally, and what we do, because I think a lot of things is not human. And for example, this. So this is how I think normal people imagines normal commercial center. This is normal. Right? If I would ask you, just close your eyes and imagine supermarket or super center or something like this, a super hall or something like that, you would imagine something terrible like this, like viaducts, I don't know what, facades and something like this. So this was also a challenge for us because 2 years ago we started designing this really, really huge commercial center, and we got a face like this. It is 400,000 square meters. And okay, with that, so this is the question to ask: is it really human? And of course not. So what we did, we just cut it out, and created a city of it. Because 400,000 square meters, it's like, we counted with you how much square meters is the Provodņiks building. It is 55,000 square meters. So this is 400,000 square meters. So just the scale. If the question, if the correct question is asked, then you also automatically look, you know where to look the answers. And of course, here is like the supermarket, so it's 350 meters long. Also, Provodņiks building is 360 meters, right? Yeah, so it's a little bit, to understand the scale. And this is really not human. 350 meters of like Old Town Street is pretty long distance to go. But this is human, and this is not. And when we start putting and comparing where we feel good and where we feel engaged, where we feel curious, we understood what we have to do it here. So this is our redesigned actually, this commercial center. I won't go deep to it, but just also while showing, for example, for other clients or so, we're saying like we always have to re-question this, what it is human. And we are putting like concert hall from one side, cinema theater from other side, and it will be, of course, offices and residential and all the functions, of course. But the most important thing is the streets and street life, which actually makes this gathering and concentrated point, what was with the kindergarten, with the this square and stuff like this. So this is a challenge, really a challenge for us. And now, I think last thing is also about our standards. So when I see this third shelf, it should be like very free and should be we are so democratic and we build what we want. But no, because our standards is like this. Because if I would ask you what is an office building, you would I believe, I done this experiment with other audiences, so they got 90% of people just say, of course, it's glass buildings. And of course, then we also re-ask it, is it really human? Can we do it a little bit different? So this is our new boutique office we opened in Vilnius Center, and we really challenged the client. Let's do it, something like authentic and something not so standardized, and they call it like a chapel now. It's like a essence of cares from model to the realization. But I think we tried really a lot just to change the standard thinking. So these are these three shelves I'm always questioning when I'm jumping from one project to another. But if to end this talk, I think we have all to continue to transform. So thank you, and I'm waiting for your questions.
Hello. Who has a question? Please raise your hand.
Hi. Initially, I was going to ask you about the street design manual, but I saw something more interesting. I saw that your house has a very similar typology to Western row houses, terraced houses, and it's not a very typical typology here, historically speaking. So I'm more so wondering what attracted you to this type of building and this type of house, because I have the same ideas and it's very hard to convince other people why it's the best way to live, in my opinion.
What's your name?
Rems.
Rems? Thank you, Rems, for this question, but I have to have 1 hour to answer. I have to, because it's like my really passion is row housing. One of my passions is like row housing, and this is super rare now, and I think this is great as typology of all of our typologies for human being to live in the city. And we've been in Copenhagen actually 1 month ago with all the office, and there is like a potato row, maybe you know it. Actually, I met few architects there, and they said that a lot of architects are living there because of these obvious reasons. So there are like 3 quarters like this in Vilnius, very small one, but all historical one. And it's very, very rare thing that it's a very rare chance to buy something there. But I think the scale, the street, and this inner life and front yard, it's so actually here, maybe I will show you that picture while I'm talking. Here actually felt what does it mean to live in actual community. I just want to get this. Oh, it was so a big presentation. Jesus Christ, where is this? Oh, okay. So like here. So it has like this backyard and back street, and it has like this. This like front yard. So like front and like neighbors are using either that or that one. And for example, just in this neighborhood, I actually start, to like 10 minutes or maybe 8 minutes is still till my doors, but I'm just greeting everybody. Hello, hi, hello, hello. Because it's somehow you own all this quarter. And the other people also do the same, because somehow it is the very, very good scale to be like in community. And of course, it's very nice to live because you have this front and back sides and very, very good scale. But I don't understand why, for example, cottages is not row housing. And while we are speaking with clients, for example, who develops residential, somehow, I don't know, something doesn't ring a bell. Because, so I think quite a lot about it, because it's of course from influence from England and Belgium from there. But I don't know, for me now it's like really the best typology to live in the city. I don't know if I answered, but we can, just discuss for hours.
Hi, thank you for the positive vibes. It was I enjoyed a lot. The main question is, I saw that all the projects kind of contain the same approach where, look, there's something more to the thing that you want to do, and I will show you what it is. Like, you're providing sort of the next step for a client. You haven't seen it yet, but I know what it is. And maybe that's another aspect of our profession, that we don't need a design at all. We just tell people what are the opportunities around them that they don't see. What do you think about it?
Yes, I also think so. But really, I really think so. But I think this is the first task of us to show the opportunity, because as Rem right, asked before, not all people see, for example, good life there, especially if it's not still, like completed, while it's like, like derelict or something like this. There is no imagination, and while we well, I was coming from city center to here, I was telling you, there's like all these buildings, like little factories. It's just, we see it, how it will be, done, how they could be working, what it could be, from them. But the other people doesn't see that. So I think the first thing, yes, is just, just to widen their view, their possibilities. But I think this is not enough because to do it nicely is also very important. But I think this is second step. Maybe what I didn't mention, but I always mention in these pitching meetings when we're just selling the clients something, that first we don't design buildings. First we program buildings. And I think this is the topic rarely architects talk about it, because actually you have to program it right and then to design it, because you never start like with a nice color or some kind of combination or something. It could be, but it's always secondary. It is very important, but it's a little bit secondary, because how it will work for you. And this is the question, how you program it. And I really believe that this is programming, like really, programming artificial intelligence or so, but like intelligent is programming how it will work. And this is not about, it's not about aesthetics, it's about how it will be used and how it will change your habits to maybe help you to become what you want to become, or to have life what you want to have, because I really believe that it could, build stronger family or build stronger community, as we saw like in all these examples. So first, and I always, by programming, the architect itself maybe also cannot do it with owner. You have to do it with owner. So it's like, or with owner, or you owner yourself, but the decision maker. So you both, or you yourself, have to program it and then to design it. So maybe...
The other thing, you had a question about the curtains.
About what?
About the curtains in the kindergarten. And you said that, why are we repainting and why are we like changing the curtains? That's the scale of thinking.
Yeah.
And so you don't think about yourself as someone who can transform it into something bigger.
Absolutely, because, for example, I had this lecture to this top businessman, I talked about the power of space, and also I talked about this kindergarten, and I don't know, that they were coming after me and they say, but why people are not telling me this? Why they are not telling, this is my kid, and it's like ruined by space, and it's like, so this is kind of things, I don't know, we can make a horror movies, with, not with dinosaurs, but with the Soviet space, for example. And I really think it's much more horrible than dinosaur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I had a follow-up question on from the previous one. So your presentation had really lovely visions and new ways on looking on designs and places. But how do you actually persuade people to go away from their old principles of, I don't know, having kindergartens being H-shaped and only curtains into something new? Like, how do you persuade them to like change their mindset?
I'm very stubborn, but like really stubborn. So, but I mean it when I said that we have to be really patient, because this is very long processes and really long processes. For example, with kindergarten, like these teachers, and they just didn't even believe that this is actually real life. And they were just, And when actually we got this building permit, we were like talking, but when we got the permit and then, like a general contractor came to the site, she was like calling me, and Gilma, here's like bulldozers. And I said, yes, we have a building permit. But I thought this is only pictures. It's, it's like people even, and it was like 2 years process or something like this, of, like imagining how it will be. But they started to imagine after 1 year, maybe together, but even after the building permit, they didn't even understand that it is reality. And I skipped this one because maybe it was too early. But this kindergarten, for example, we were designed 7 years. It takes a lot of time, and but factory is 1 year because we own, So, but after these 7 years and all these processes, and that kids was in the kindergarten while the construction site was going on. This was most beautiful opening when we were with the director cutting this red tape, and kids were singing the song about architecture. But really, it was like our kindergarten with very wide doors and very tall windows. They were actually creating the song, and they were singing it in this opening day about this wide windows and how it's easy to go to the courtyard. It's unbelievable, So. Going back to your question, how to do it, so I think these visual examples of habits actually really proves them. But step by step, because too much is always like danger. But step by step, just showing examples and telling it makes them just think about it. But for example, curtains is a very serious issue. It's a very serious issue.
Anyone else? No? Maybe I have the last question. So you were saying that, transforming spaces transforms us. So which project do you believe has transformed you the most, and why?
Good question. I don't know if one project, maybe overall this 20 years of, maybe just we as architects has, amazing spectrum what we can see and change. Because we have a vision, and after some years or some time, it totally becomes reality. So from this vision, you just actually materialize your ideas. And just keep seeing that, and keep seeing what succeeds, what's not, and how long it takes, actually, maybe also bring some, something maybe, how to move in this life. Because this life is, for me, this is the most, maybe, the biggest philosophical, this understanding, actually, that how this mindset can materialize and then change other people's life for better. I hope for better, because how we saw it from the second shelf, it's for worse. It's really for worse. And I didn't spoke about this Soviet neighborhoods, but because I really think that this loneliness issue and stuff like this is totally shaped by these horror spaces. So, and this is no joke. So, I don't know what project shaped me and transformed me, but overall these processes and seeing others also transforming together, maybe I want to be not transformed, but transforming. So it's also maybe an answer to your question.
All right. Well, does anybody else have a question? I guess if not, then thanks, Gilma, for the lecture. Thank you all for coming, and do stay longer if you wish, and talk to her in private as well. And yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank you one more time because it was a really pleasure for me to see your eyes shining and smiles on your faces and something. I really hope that you found something new and maybe it will transform a little bit your I don't know mindset. So thank you very much for such a warm invitation. And you. Yeah, so Vilnius, Riga, so it's so close. So, okay, so thank you very much one more time. Now without microphones.